Hey Scorpio, EverlongMystic here. So today we're going to get you a message. We're going to start out with the alchemy of sound astrology, and we are going to see what the topic is, what we're reading about for you. So we have antimony here, we have wolf protection, family songbook, wild instinctual human nature, divinely lit soul, ever vigilant. Definitely seems family related here. I'm kind of just wondering if there is some kind of, is there a threat? Like this would be the time when you'd want to see the the Moonology card. Everyone you love is safe. And then we have Saturn. So, Big Daddy Saturn. I don't think Big Daddy Saturn is gonna let anything too terrible happen, but it's not the softest energy, So natural world lore, primordial drumming, divine masculine, pain absorbing, non-judgmental. All right. I'm just soaking this up real quick. There is something here that is very untouchable, Scorpio. There's something untouchable. Like it's I don't know, I'm just getting this feeling of like something that is like, like strong and lasts a long time, and it's not subject to destruction like other things are. And Saturn has something to do with it. Like I keep being drawn to the primordial drumming of this, and it's like it's a natural law or something. I'm not really quite sure exactly what that means, but that's what I'm getting from those two cards. Something untouchable. So I don't know if there has been some destruction around you, Scorpio. Something falling apart, or maybe just a perceived threat of some sort, or what have you, but it's like we're meant to read about something that is untouchable. I mean, that could just be a message in itself. All right, Scorpio. So I'm going to cut this a couple times. We're going to cut it in half. This half will be with Lafruma. We'll do at the end for advice. And this half I'm going to cut again to get this message here. Okay, so we have a coffin here. I mean, maybe somebody's dealing with the death of a loved one, but the coffin certainly represents endings, right? Like finality. There's definitely some kind of finality happening here, and I mean it could just be you realizing your own mortality, but something is coming to an end. An unresurrected end. And then we have birds. Oh, and they chose chickadees. How cute. All right, so then we have birds here, and this is conversations. Whatever this ending is, it leads to a lot of conversations. Like, especially like chickadees, they are so verbal, it's not even funny. Like back and forth, like all day long. They're just chattering all day long. So then we have the scarecrow. So what does the scarecrow do? It scares away threats to your crops. Even on the antimony card, it says ever vigilant. Now this scarecrow looks awfully friendly, like he's waving, hey. Like if I were to have a scarecrow, I'd make him a little uglier. I'd want him to be scary. But that's okay. It's the meaning, right? So there is some kind of threat here. It's almost like this is I mean, it's not a distraction, but like it's something that's taken up your time. Dealing with whatever this, like closing this off or ending this thing, or dealing with some kind of major transition in your life, having all these conversations about it. Maybe you're having meetings or whatever. It's like you're busy with this, and you've got like this other. It's like you've got something that wants to come in and like ruin something of yours. And I'm trying not to be like fear monger or whatever, but I mean it's in two places, so I can't ignore it, right? You got antimony here, like with wolf protection and being vigilant, right? And then you also have this scarecrow that's trying to get the crows away from eating all of your crops. You know, it's like, I don't know. It just seems like there's, like people that, like, I don't know if it's people, but like something that wants to come in and steal your sanity or something, or I don't know. It's weird. But like, I mean, honestly, I don't think with Saturn here, like, hell no. Hell no. You don't mess with Saturn. All right. Aha. So we have the moon here. It's kind of telling me here that whatever this perceived threat is that you think you need wolf protection for, and you know, like a scarecrow and all that, to defend your land or whatever. It's like the moon is coming out to shine the spotlight on it. So it's almost like you're gonna see whatever these suspicions are, because they kind of feel like, you know, like that feeling, like a suspicion, like, and you know, like it's weird with suspicion because like you don't want to be that guy, you know, that's like always suspicious of everybody, and you don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but you can't ignore the feeling, right? Well, it's almost like this moon is going to shine the light on like whoever's trying to sneak in and do whatever. You know what I mean? Could be nobody. It could reveal nobody. Could reveal somebody. But the spotlight's on the way. Okay? The spotlight is on the way. Uh-huh. And then we have deception. The spotlight is on the deception. And guess what? Like, you've got this Trojan horse here, and it's totally turning its head, going, oh shit, the light's on me. So, like, I figure here that if you are suspicious about something, somebody coming in with some sticky fingers or something, I feel like they're not gonna get away with it. And it's a shame for that kind of thing to happen when you're dealing with something big. You know what I mean? Like a major life transition where you're just completely absorbed in it. I mean, that's not cool, right? Oh, so we have a fancy lady here. So this, oh, I like this because this is going to be the center card. How cool is that? So, Scorpio, we have this fancy lady, and what is she doing? She's wearing a really nice silk dress, very fine material. She has beautiful flowers on her table. She's enjoying the wonderful view. She's freaking spoiling herself. So guess what? You you have something to look forward to here. You are going to, like, this is an experience of pleasure, okay? It's an experience of pleasure. You will have pleasure. This is not, this may be an end, but it's not the end to everything. You know what I mean? You, you will have pleasures. And there's a big old heart coming out right next to the pleasures. So not only that, it's like, not only are you going to love some of these future pleasures, but you got a big old heart, Scorpio. You got a big old heart, and you know it. You know it. All right, so here we have, well, that's a weird way to put it, poorness. All right, we have poorness coming up next. I'm not really sure what that's about, but I think what it's trying to do is explain the scarecrow situation. It's one of those things like the haves and the have-nots. It's like we have no sunflowers in our bags. We want your sunflowers, so we're gonna come take yours. Kind of thing, you know? I think that's so whatever these, you know, like the crows that steal the sunflowers or whatever, the garden, the pumpkins. It's like whatever's stealing your garden, it's because they don't have their own, you know? And it could be just someone's jealous of your stuff. Or it could be because they just don't have it. They don't have anything. And they don't know another way to get it or something like that. I am not explaining thievery. I mean, I'm not condoning thievery or whatever, but it is something to think about right now as far as like what are the real riches here, right? Like what are the sources of pleasure that you have? It's like you got a big old heart here to process that question, you know? So let's get La Frima. We're gonna get La Frima and then the other half of the lace oracle. All right, La Frima. So any additional message or advice for Scorpio? Yes. Huh. All right, so willful resistance. All right, for you stubborn Scorpios, what do we have here? We have willful resistance. We have original birthright. I like that. All right, and then we have Ash, personal Yggdrasil. So this one's a little tricky. This is like the Loki card. I'm just kind of soaking these in. Alright, so this here is kind of telling me, this Anwil is kind of telling me that Scorpio, there's not a, if you're leading a completely struggle-free life, you're probably like not doing it right. I mean, our lives are not meant to be that boring. You know what I mean? Our lives are not meant to be that boring. We are meant to We're meant to lock horns, every once in a while. We're meant to have some decadent pleasures every once in a while. We're meant to really sit down and have serious conversations about shit every once in a while. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm getting here. And here again, like, I'm getting this birthright card. Seems like it's linked to this antimony card and making kind of the energy stronger about family. Because this is about, like, it says what defines you, your family, their possessions, what they leave to you through inheritance. Is that estate fated to define you from birth, written into your body codes? Or will you seek your original birthright? It's asking you to move past things that don't really define you. It's asking you to find the full truth of yourself. It's like, are these pumpkins that you're defending? I mean, are those really, like, are those really your pumpkins? I mean, do those pumpkins define you? Are they you? Or maybe is it time for, maybe it's a different crop that's calling your name, or, you know what I mean? It's asking what frequency is the true you. It's because you've got the ability to tap into that answer right here. And so we have Ash, personal Yggdrasil. This is the real you, right? And sometimes the real you will play hide and seek with you, like a funny little Loki. Now, this feels like a dare. Like, if you're not really in tune with the real you, this right here feels like a dare. Like, you think you can do it? You want to? It's kind of like, it almost feels like it's like a little teasing you into it. It's up to you, though. And that's funny because the Lafruma advice for Leo before you was similar. It kind of ended in, like, well, you decide, you know? Oh, look at that. So we have the light forces showing up, and I love that it's like right under the heart here. Higher forces, light forces. See, and that's that connection to Saturn, the divine masculine, non-judgmental. It's like like if you're willing to kind of jump in and see some of those shadows, because the moon is here. You've got the spotlight out on the table. It's like, I mean, you could dive into them waters. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with them, Scorpio. But, it's like, you can. It's up to you. Oh, this is perfect. So we have mirror. So what is being reflected back to you? And that goes back to this birthright card here. If you want to take a look in the mirror and see the real you, you can. Because it's your birthright too. That's pretty cool. All right, is there anything else? I kind of want to look at this center card here, like these pleasures, because I mean, we like pleasures, right? So what are these pleasures about? It's gonna be the corner cards here. So this is linked to the scarecrow in the mirror here. Ooh, so I can see some of you are scared of your own reflection here, which is interesting. And then we have antimony. Ooh. See, this is like locking horns for the sake of locking horns. It's like a little bit paranoid. That's what's keeping you from the pleasures. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's what's keeping you from more of the pleasures. By being afraid of your own reflection and being so paranoid that it's like you're always in fight or flight mode. You can't experience, like, it's weird. It's almost like that's like a secret to work on to be able to experience even more pleasures, because that's the central focus of this whole block of cards. All right, so I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. All right, Scorpio, this is your message. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye, Scorpio.